Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Ka Halamla, Awawaha, Ayahaya Nawa Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash, double honors, and to the head apostles of Great Millstone, who do rule well and teach well with sound doctrine, Shalom, unto the elders and the elder bishops of Great Millstone as well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect, the men, women, and children listening and learning from the servants of prophets, Yahweh Bashem Yashai, and a hearty shalom to those servants of prophets, teaching and preaching in truth and sincerity, building up the tabernacle of David in these last days through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yashai, giving diligence to make their calling and election sure. Shalom, shalom. And last but not least, a hearty shalom to the men of valor and DTA camps spread all across Babylon the Great, prophesying the downfall of this wicked kingdom as well. So back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yashai. Adon Rathazah, Yahweh Rathazah, may the lesson be edifying. And the lesson is going to be titled, this lesson, better yet, is going to be titled, The Doors of Mercy Are Closing. Do you have your garments? Once again, the doors of mercy are closing. Do you have your garments? And as you can see, a lot of things are happening as it pertains to biblical prophecy. Scoffers popping up, teaching doctrines of devils, denying Yahweh Shai, denying the name, Also simultaneously why those things are happening, which is a part of end time prophecy. In the last days there shall come scoffers, so on and so forth. While those scoffers are getting addressed and being put to shame through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yashai, simultaneously Esau Edom is looking to crown his enterprise. Talks of war, rumors of war. You have the great pestilence that's basically, on the verge of shutting down economies worldwide, a major famine, and also the famine of the word is on the horizon as well as this man, is looking to push that thing this year, So you have a lot of things that are pertain to biblical end time prophecy happening. And once again, the doors of mercy are closing. Do you have your garments? Or do you have the garment? So let's go into the scriptures. And we'll start with the book of St. John, the 10th chapter and the first verse. And it reads as such: Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. And that door is Yahweh Shai. The only way you can get to the Heavenly Father. I'm going to read it again. John 10:1. Verily, verily, truly, truly, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. And you have men denying Yahweh Shai, denying his rank, pushing, fringes, and not pushing Yahweh Shai or prophecy at all. And the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy, pursuant to the book of Revelation, the 19th chapter and the 10th verse. Let's go to John 10:9. I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pasture. I'm going to read again. John 10 and 9, the book of St. John, the 10th chapter and the 9th verse. I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pasture. Plain as day. Yahushua is the door. The only way you can get access to the Heavenly Father, and the only way you can get the Spirit, is because of Yahushua's sacrifice. You know you're an Israelite. Let's keep it going. Revelation 3 and 20. Behold, I stand at the door. That door is your mind. And knock. That door in this verse, better yet, is your mind. Revelation 3 and 20. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door of your mind, I will come in and sup with him, and he with me. He'll give you the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures, starting with the milk, and eventually the Ruach HaKodesh, after a while, which is going to reveal all things. Revelation 3 and 21. To him that overcometh, and that's our goal, is to overcome, to see the fall of our enemy, to get crowned on crowning day. We're doing this for salvation, and we push Yahushua. Revelation 3 and 21, to him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame. I am set down with my Father in his throne. So we're going to get, the heavenly body, just like Yahushua, if we endure unto the end, man. And that's the goal of the truth, is to endure unto the end and to get victory over the beast, the mark, his image, and his name. To see the fall of our enemies, man. Rulership, immortality. That's what's on the line, man. And you're not going to obtain immortality through fringes, man, or the law. It's going to come through Yahushua. Revelation 3 and 21, to him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne. That's victory right there. Even as I also overcame and am set down with my Father in his throne. But to overcome, you got to have the right doctrine, man. Revelation 3 and 8, I know thy works. Behold, I have set before thee an open door. And that open door is referring to Yahushua. And no man can shut it, for thou hast a little strength, and hast kept my word, and has not denied my name. That means you got to know the name. And the elect shall praise the holy name of the Heavenly Father and his Son. Pursuant to Sirach, the 17th chapter and the 10th verse. Let's go into this word for name right here. Just want to show it to you in the Strongs. Let's read it again. Revelation 3 and 8, I know thy works. Behold, I have set before thee an open door, Yahushua, and no man can shut it. For thou hast a little strength, and hast kept my word, and hast not denied my name. Well, to not deny the name, you got to know the name. And if you go into the word in the Greek for name in Revelation 3 and 8, it's Strong's G for Greek 3686. And let's let him say it.
Strong's G 3686. Anima.
And let's get right to the point. The name is used for everything, which the name covers everything for one's authority, rank, command, excellences. You know? So they're not respecting Yahweh Shai's authority. You know? They're denying his authority. They're denying his rank by trying to climb up some other way and obtain salvation through, you know, the law. And we're under a grace period right now. You know, we're under grace. Now, we establish the law and we keep the law to the best of our abilities, but, you know, our forefathers went off because they couldn't keep the law, man. You're in Babylon the Great because of our forefathers breaking the law, man. And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai set it up that way so you wouldn't be able to obtain salvation on your own. You would need his son. You would need the Messiah. You would need, you know, a mediator. John 14:6, the book of St. John 14:6, Yahweh Shai saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Yahweh Shai is the way. That same angel that's talked about in the book of Exodus, the 23rd chapter, the 21st and 20th verses, man. Exodus 23 and 20 and 21. Let's just get it. Exodus 23 and 20. Select it for the internet where I'm at. Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions. For my name is in him. Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. You got to say Yahweh to say Yahweh Shai. And obeying his voice is to obey his prophets, his true prophets that he sent in these last days that have his report. You know? Because Yahweh Shai is not going to come off the throne and break the word down to you. He's going to send his men. And where the word of a king is, there is power. And he said that he would give power, you know, unto his men in these last days. Pursuant to Acts 1 and 8, you know, Revelation 11 and 3. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it going. Romans, the 2nd chapter in the 28th verse. For he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly. And these men who are boasting in the law, boasting in fringes, they're doing it all for the outward appearance. You know, they haven't cleaned up the inner man. Romans 2 and 28, for he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly. Boasting in fringes, wanting to wear fringes, you know, to the wing stop, you know, on Saturday night to be seen of men. But won't teach the word, won't make one lesson, won't go out to the highways and byways and make your body a living sacrifice. You know? Romans 2 and 28, for he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly. Neither is that circumcision, which is outward in the flesh. Romans 2 and 29, but he is a Jew, which is one inwardly. And this isn't talking about spiritual Israelites. This is talking about being renewed in your mind, you know? Putting on as the elect. becoming a new man, putting away the old man, you know, being groomed into royalty. Romans 2:29, but he is a Jew which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart, of the mind, in the spirit, and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of the Most High. And we do all these lessons to, praise and push Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, not ourselves, And it's all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai that we have the understanding. And that's a constant prayer that goes up with sincere brothers, man. Psalms the 51st chapter, cast me not away from thy presence and take not thy Holy Spirit from me. Let's go into this word for letter. Let's let him say it. So it's Strong's G 1121, gramma. Salakia, internet's a little slow where I'm at. So it's Strong's G for Greek 1121, gramma. Gramma.
Strong's G 1121. Gramma. Gramma.
And it goes into, right to the point, a letter, any writing, a document or record, a letter, an epistle, the sacred writings of the Old Testament. So let's read it again. For he is a Jew which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart, of the mind, in the spirit, and not in the letter, in the law, whose praise is not of men, but of the Most High. And boasting in the law, you're basically omitting Yahushua. You're saying that you don't need Yahushua, You're saying that Yahushua is dead in vain. Let's keep it going. 2 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter. Let's read 1 down to 6. Do we begin to commend ourselves? And you have these guys who are pushing fringes and pushing the law. They're basically commending themselves. And Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai hates pride. And that's a proud mentality to say that, you don't basically to omit Yahushai and say you don't need Yahushai. You can do it on your own. 2 Corinthians 3:1, do we begin again to commend ourselves? Or need we, as some others, epistles of condemnation to you, or letters of condemnation from you? Ye are our epistle, written in our hearts, known and read of all men. For as much as ye are manifestly declared to be the epistle of Hamashiach, ministered by us, written not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living power, not in tables of stone, but in fleshly tables of the heart. And that's what we're declaring, is the new covenant. We're ministers of the new covenant. We're pushing the vibration of, the kingdom, man. That's what we're supposed to do. Preach the gospel of the kingdom. And in the kingdom, the real immortals, the elect, are going to get perfection. And it's not going to be through the law. It's going to be through Yahushua, who's going to change our vile bodies. And I say we humbly, 2 Corinthians 3:3, for as much as ye are manifestly declared to be the epistle of Hamashiach, ministered by us, written not with ink, but with the spirit of the living power, not in tables of stone, but in fleshly tables of the heart. And such trust have we through Hamashiach to Godward, not that we are sufficient of ourselves to think anything as of ourselves, but our sufficiency is of the Most High, who had made us able ministers of the New Testament, of the New Covenant. Ministers of the New Covenant, declaring the kingdom, prophesying against Esau, and at the same time, building up the tabernacle of David, the spiritual priesthood, the spiritual house, the spiritual ark. And once again, the doors of mercy are closing. As we get closer to the end, the doors of mercy are closing. And who was the one that closed the door on the first ark? Noah's ark. It was Yahushua. The same one who's going to close the doors of mercy on the spiritual ark pretty soon. So you can't get around Yahushua. There's no way of getting around him, man. Second Corinthians 3:6, who also had made us able ministers of the New Testament, the New Covenant, not of the letter, but of the Spirit, for the letter killeth, but the Spirit giveth life. Let's read it in the NLT. And under the old covenant, the Old Testament laws, you get put to death, for a lot of the iniquities that you commit. I'm speaking for myself as well. So we need mercy, man. We need Yahushua. 2 Corinthians 3, I'm going to read 1 down to 6. Are we beginning to praise ourselves again? And he had men praising themselves, basically, in mortal flesh, boasting in the law, but drinking out of, plastic bottles made out of pork. And if you're going to push the law, then you're omitting your Yahushua. And if you've broken one commandment, you've broken them all. James 2:10. Are we like others who need to bring you letters of recommendation, or who ask you to write such letters on their behalf? Surely not. The only letter of recommendation we need is you yourselves. Your lives are a letter written in our hearts. Everyone can read it and recognize our good work among you. Clearly, you are a letter from Hamashiach showing the result of our ministry among you. This letter is not written with pen and ink, but with the Spirit of the living power. It is not carved on tablets of stone, but on human hearts. We are confident of all this because of our great trust in the Most High through Hamashiach. That's faith. And that's a gift from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. It is not that we think we are qualified to do anything on our own. Our qualification comes from the Most High, who has enabled us to be ministers of his new covenant. This is a covenant not of written laws, but of the Spirit. The old written covenant ends in death. But under the law, but under the new covenant, the Spirit gives life. And our forefathers, they couldn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, in this flesh. Let me see. Ephesians 2 and 8, for by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of the Most High. So through grace we're saved, man. You know? Through faith. You know? By grace through faith we're saved. And that's a gift from the Heavenly Father through his Son. Not through the law, man. Just to pound the point home, Romans 7 and 6. But now we are delivered from the law in the form of, from the letter of the law, in the form of the punishment, through grace, through faith in Yahawashi HaMashiach. You know? But now we are delivered from the law, that being dead wherein we were held, that we should serve in newness of spirit and not in the oldness of the letter. Now, once again, we establish the law, but we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, the law isn't what's going to save you. It's grace, mercy, you know, obedience, and belief in Yahweh Shai. Romans 3 and 31, do we make void the law? Through faith. Yahweh forbid. Yea, we establish the law. Hope this is making sense, you know. Galatians 2 and 20. I am crucified with Hamashiach, nevertheless I live, yet not. And we're crucified all day, you know, killing off the old man and becoming the new creature, putting off the old man, becoming renewed every day through the Spirit. I am crucified with Hamashiach, Galatians 2 and 20. I am crucified with Hamashiach, nevertheless I live, yet not, but Hamashiach liveth in me, and the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of the Most High, who loved me and gave himself for me. I do not frustrate the grace of Yahweh, for if righteousness come by the law, then Hamashiach is dead in vain. Plain as day. You know, for you guys don't want to push the law, instead of pushing Yahweh Shai and prophecy, where you're going to be judged according to the letter of the law. And that's not what you want, man. Galatians 5 and 4, Hamashiach is become no effect unto you. You're saying you can do it on your own. Whoever of you are justified by the law, ye are fallen from grace. You're fallen from mercy. That means you're going to get judged according to the letter of the law. That's not what you want, man. That's not what I want, you know? I need mercy, man. We all need mercy. Galatians 5 and 4 in the NLT. And we'll go into the blue letter next. Galatians 5 and 4 in the NLT. You who are trying to be justified by the law have been alienated from Hamashiach. It's like you have fallen away from grace. Let's go into this word for Slakia. Come on. Slakia, now the internet wants to act up. But this word, I was trying to go into it in the blue letter. Slakia for the internet speed. Let's just pull it up. So the word for none effect unto you, it's all bunched together in the Greek. It's kategoreo. I was trying to show it to you on the screen, but okay, yeah. So it says, Galatians 5 and 4, Hamashiach is become of no effect unto you. And if you go into this word right here for none effect unto you, no effect unto you, it's kategoreo, category, basically. Let's let him say it.
Strong's G 2673. Katargeo. Katargeo.
Yep. Categoreo. Category, basically. It puts you in the category of being abolished, delivered, to be destroyed, do away. You're that dross, you know? Fail. You're going to fail, just like our forefathers did, you know? Put away, put down, vanish away, destroy. You're going to lose, fall. It says to render idle, unemployed. Woo! And we work for the King of the universe, man. And to be unemployed, no longer in the business, you know, that's not a good look, man. That's not something you want, you know. Inactivate. He's going to inactivate your spirit. And these men have inactivated spirits. They're reprobates, man. We're just going to call it straight. Call it what it is, man. To deprive a force, influence, power. And that's what you guys are doing to Yahweh Shai. You're depriving him of his force, you know, in the form of not wanting to reverence Yahweh Shai and pushing the law. When the law isn't what's going to save you or perfect you, it's Yahweh Shai. Let me see. To cause to cease, to put an end to, do away with, annul, abolished. And that's going to be your fate, you know, for making Yahweh Shai, you know, not the centerpiece, you know, of your ministry, man. Galatians 5:4, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, is become of no effect unto you. Whosoever of you are justified by the law, ye are fallen from grace. So you're going to be judged according to the letter of the law. And that's not what you want, man. Romans 8:3, for what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh. These chains of darkness, man, you know, they're going to drive you to go off, you know, here and there, man. You know, you may, you know, there's sins that are committed all the time, man. You know, knowingly and unknowingly, man. You know? And that's where grace comes in, man. You're eating GMOs, you know, if you're eating vegetables, most likely. That's going off, man. You know? And that's why we need Yahweh Shai, man. I can go on and on with the examples of, you know, sins that are committed, man. But those that pick up what's being put down, you know, they know what's going on. I mean, they know what I'm talking about. Romans 8:3, for what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, Hamashiach sending his own son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh. So Yahweh Shai was the only one that could condemn sin in the flesh as far as being perfect in this body, you know? He's the only one that could do it, man. He's the only one that's done it. And pushing that vibration of the law fringes, you're omitting Yahweh Shai and saying, basically, you want to be judged according to the letter of the law. And in that case, you're worthy of death. You know, because there's no mercy when it comes to that, man. You're omitting the only one that could forgive transgressions. Next part. So let's go into the garment. So Baruch 5:1, put off, O Jerusalem, Yerushalayim, put off, O Jerusalem, the garment of mourning and affliction. and put on the comeliness of the glory that cometh from the Most High forever. The new man, this doctrine, the proper wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures, which is going to lead to immortality for the elect, Baruch 5:2. Cast about thee a double garment of righteousness, which cometh from the Most High, and set a diadem on thine head of the glory of the everlasting, capital E. Yahushua, the author and finisher of our faith. Let's go into this word diadem. A diadem is a type of crown. That's the end goal. You want to get that crown. A diadem is a type of crown, specifically an ornament headband worn by monarchs and others as a badge of royalty. And that's what we are. We're royalty in exile. To those who endure to the end, uncrowned kings. Kings and priests. And that's who Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is grooming. And that's what the true doctrine will give you, a ruling class mentality through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You don't think the same way you used to, man. And that's who Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is grooming. Future rulers in the kingdom to come. Let's read it again. Baruch 5:2. Cast about thee a double garment of the righteousness which cometh from the Most High, and set a diadem, a crown, upon thine head of the glory of the everlasting. And it all starts out in your mind. Like the elder Yashawamba has said plenty of times, victory starts in the minds of the elect. You putting on the new man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. It starts with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and then putting that into action. Isaiah 61:1. The spirit of Adawan Yahweh Bashim Yahushua power is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound. And our people are bound, spiritually and mentally in Babylon the Great, still in captivity, or proclaiming liberty unto them, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Letting them know that this is the doctrine that leads, to immortality, to being free in your mind, to changing your mindset, man. To you looking at things through royal lenses, man. In the spirit. It changes your outlook on slacking, everything, man. And it all starts with the thought, in the form of victory starting in the minds of the elect. And it starts out with you getting this word and being able to receive it in its purest form. Isaiah 61:2, to proclaim the acceptable year of Adawan Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn. And that's what we're proclaiming, the kingdom. Isaiah 61:3, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, and to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning. How beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel, Let your lights be shining, roughly paraphrasing, let your loins be girded about with truth. and your lights constantly burning, we got to have oil to do that. You know, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. The garment of praise, you know, that they might be called trees of righteousness. And pursuant to the book of Mark, you know, men are compared to as trees. Mark the 8th chapter, I think it's 8 and 24. That they may be called trees of righteousness, the planting of Adonai Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai, that he may be glorified. Not us, through the law, you know. Not your fringes, man. That Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai may be glorified. And a lot of these jakes, man, they just push this to be seen of men. This is what I seen on social media the other day, literally today. A brother sent this. I'll just show it to you guys. It's like I'm still getting over the sickness. It's, you know, coming out of my system slowly but surely. But look at this, you know. This is just too much, man. And once again, you know, the Fringelites strike again. And this is the spirit of over-righteousness with this, man. This is just too much. This is over the top, man. You know? And this is to be seen of men. Once again, merchandising the truth, making it commercial. And these guys, if you walk up to these guys and ask them, what's Revelation 13, 16 through 18 mean? They're going to tell you it's an embargo. You know, it's philosophies in your mind, Ak. When this man is going digital, everything. And once again, this is the year that these guys who don't have the correct understanding, they're not going to be able to run away from that prophecy, man. You know, the vision is loud and clear and it's speaking. You know, Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai is causing that proverb to cease amongst Israel. And you're going to have to give answers this year, man. This is the year of the amplification. Let's keep it going. Revelation 16 and 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments. Now, is this a physical garment? Or is this something spiritual? Lest he walk naked and they see his shame. I'm going to read again. Revelation 16 and 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments. The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. This truth, this doctrine, which is going to lead to immortality for the elect. You know? Lest he walk naked and they see his shame. Isaiah 52 and 1. Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion, put on thy beautiful garments. Let's get, there's a precept that just came to mind. Let's get Revelation 3 and 11. Behold, I come quickly, hold that fast which thou hast. The garment, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The truth, the true doctrine. That no man take thy crown. I'm going to read it again. Behold, I come quickly, hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Isaiah 52 and 1 again. Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion, put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, O Yerushalayim, the holy city, for henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean. You know, those who aren't circumcised in the heart. You know, you haven't changed and become a new man. You're not going to be able to receive the beautiful garments, you know, this true doctrine in its purest form. And you have those men who are in that lot showing their ugly faces, man. You know, basically saying it's all about them. pushing carnality, you know. For the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit. And those, epistles, they're not written and worded like that for no reason, because there's men who are going to be in that lot. And we're starting to see those men for who they are. And the Spirit is hopping on men to call you guys out. Isaiah 52:1 again from the top. Awake, awake, put on thy strength. O Zion, put on thy beautiful garments. O Jerusalem, the holy city, for henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean. The heathen nations who are outside the temple and those who've been rejected from the foundations of the earth to not receive this word. Not all Israel's of Israel. The Israel of the Most High. That's all who Yahweh Shem Yahshai is dealing with in this eon, in this age. Isaiah 52:2, shake thyself from the dust, arise and sit down, O Jerusalem, loose thyself from the bands off thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion. And that starts with this word going on, man. Let's go to the book of Sirach 6:22. For wisdom is according to her name, she is not manifest unto many. For it's given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom. To them it is not given. Sirach 6:23. Give ear, my son, receive my advice, and refuse not my counsel. That reminds me of Proverbs, the 4th chapter, Let's just get it because it complements it. Proverbs 4:1. Hear ye children the instruction of a father, and attend to no understanding. Proverbs 4:2. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law. So we don't forsake the law. We establish the law, but there's laws that are given in the Apocrypha. There's laws that Paul gave, and you got a lot of men omitting those laws, prophesying with their head covered. Yahushua said to not bring staves to camp. Agree with thy adversary quickly, but you got Adam Abbott getting cuffed up on camera, man. And that was spiritual, because that's a camp that doesn't teach the proper breakdown of Revelation, the 13th chapter, 16-18, but they have the nerve and the gall to call their camp Watchmen for Israel. And they just did a 5-hour breakdown, allegedly obliterating the lunar Sabbath, when the lunar Sabbath, Slakia, is biblical. It doesn't matter really, as long as you're keeping the Sabbath, cool. But the lunar Sabbath is biblical, man. If you want to get technical about it, we're not supposed to have strife about that particular topic, to keep it technical. As long as you're keeping the Sabbath, cool. But the Sabbath is based on the moon, man. Just to keep it 1,000, man. But as long as you're keeping the Sabbath, hey, call out Yahweh Shem Yahshai. But once again, these guys who have these wayward doctrines, man, they're starting to pop up left and right. And that's a part of end time prophecy. In the last days, there shall be scoffers. Evil men shall wax worse and worse. Sirach 6:24. And put thy feet into her fetters and thy neck into her chain. Talking about wisdom. Bow down thy shoulder and bear her, and be not grieved with her bonds. Come unto her with thy whole heart. Be not double-minded, man. And keep her ways with all thy power. Search and seek, and she shall be made known unto thee. And when thou hast got hold of her, let her not go. Which reminded me of, a precept that just came out, Revelation 3:11, Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, this truth, the garment, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, that no man take thy crown. Let's keep it going. Sirach 6:28. For at the last thou shalt find her rest, and that shall be turned to thy joy. Then shall her fetters be a strong defense for thee, and her chains a robe of glory. Let's get Baruch, the 5th chapter again. Baruch 5:2, cast about thee a double garment of the righteousness which cometh from the Most High, and set a diadem, a crown, upon thine head of the glory of the everlasting. Now let's just back it up with another precept. Salakia. I didn't mean to say Salakia. Sirach 1, I think it's 1, and I want to say wisdom is the crown of righteousness. It's just, I think it's about 18 or so. Yep. Sirach 1:18. The fear of the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai, is a crown of wisdom, making peace and perfect health to flourish, both which are the gifts of the Most High, faith. And it enlargeth their rejoicing that love him. Sirach 6:29 again. Then shall her feathers be a strong defense for thee, and her chains a robe of glory. Cast thee about a double robe of righteousness. Roughly paraphrasing. Just get Baruch 5:2 again. Baruch 5:2. Cast about thee a double garment of righteousness, which cometh from the Most High, and set a diadem on thine head of the glory of the everlasting. And that's what we're doing this for that diadem set on our heads from Yahushua, and to hear well done, Slack it, well done, good and faithful servant. And he's not going to be saying, well done, good and faithful servant, to men who are saying not to worship him, man. That's just not going to happen, man, unless you repent. But once again, the doors of mercy are closing. Do you have the right garment, or do you have the covering of Esau Edom, or have you put your trust in men and taken that covering? Do you have on a wedding garment, Sirach 6:30. For there is a golden ornament upon her, and her bands are purple lace. And in the law, it goes back to, you have the fringes with the border of blue, so that those fringes are spiritual now, man, because the fringes are a reminder to keep the law, Just like right now, back then we had a temple, but now the temple is the believers. The temple is spiritual now. Just want to add that example. Sirach 6:31, thou shalt put her on as a robe of honor, and shalt put her about thee as a crown of joy. Talking about the proper wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures, man. The robe, the garment. Sirach 6:30 again, for there is a golden ornament upon her, and her bands are purple lace, or a border of blue, Sirach 6:31, thou shalt put her on as a robe of honor, and shalt put her about thee as a crown of joy. So the fringes represented you having the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to not, break the law. That's what it's symbolic of, man. You don't have to look at fringes to know that you're not supposed to eat a bacon cheeseburger sandwich, or go, over to your ox house and try to pull his wife, or to leave camp. I mean, you lighten up a fat blunt, Jeremiah 17:5. Thus saith the Lord, Adonai Yahweh Shem Yahshai, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and make flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord. So you're making flesh your arm. You're trusting in man, and that's the wrong garment to have. That's the wrong covering to have, And that's those men who are omitting Yahweh Shai. That's what they're doing. Jeremiah 17:5 again from the top. Thus saith the Lord, Adonai Yahweh Shem Yahshai, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm. That's what you're doing. You're making flesh your covering. And whose heart departeth from Yahweh Shem Yahshai. And that means Yahweh Shem Yahshai has stripped the spirit away from you, and your mind's departed from Adonai Yahweh Shem Yahshai. And you think you could do it on your own. And basically you are on your own. Unless you repent, you're going to be judged according to the letter of the law. And in that case, it's automatic finito, man. Because if you've broken one, you've broken them all. That's why you need mercy. That's why you need Yahweh Shai. And he's the only one that could grant mercy. And that goes back to the law. Exodus 23 and 20 and 21. So that's the trick bag Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai puts you in, to have to need his son. No way around it, man. Zephaniah 1 and 7, hold thy peace at the presence of Adonai Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai power. For the day of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai is at hand. And the day is at hand. We're getting closer to the finish line, man. Let's get that. John 17 and 6. That's the goal, is to finish, man. John 17 and 6. Come on, internet. Slack here. Maybe 5. Yeah, John 17 and 4. Slack it. I have glorified thee on earth. I have finished the work which thou gavest me to do. And that's what you want to. That's what you want to be doing, man. Be doing the work that Adonai Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai sent you to do on the right-hand side. And to finish, man. John 17 and 4, I've glorified thee on the earth. I have finished the work which thou gavest me to do. That's our ultimate goal, is to finish, man. That's perfection, finishing. Zephaniah 1 and 7, hold thy peace at the presence of Adonai Yahweh Shem Yahshai power, for the day is at hand. For the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai had prepared a sacrifice. He had bid his guests, those to be destroyed and those to be delivered. You know, the dross, at the same time, those set to be beamed up and crowned. Zephaniah 1 and 8, it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children, and all as such as are clothed with strange apparel. Now, there was a video that went out that Elder Menat Zakba did. I think it was a repost video where the guy from WFI, who had dreads at the time, he's cut them off now, was basically trying to push fringes on a brother, you know, a new brother into the truth, most likely, and saying that, you know, fringes or die, basically, fringe or die, you know, and that the strange apparel was talking about, you know, strange clothing in the form of, you know, from the other nations, so on and so forth. I don't want to butcher the way he said it, but the strange apparel is going into different doctrines and philosophies, man. You know, you're taking the covering of Esau, Edom. Let's go into the blue letter. Let's just bring it up. You know, not a physical covering. You know, you're letting, you know, let's just go into blue letter. Slakia. Lost the train of thought. But this word right here for for clothed is labas, right? I'm gonna read it again. Zephaniah 1 and 8, and it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children and all such as are clothed with strange apparel. Being clothed with strange apparel is having the covering of Esau, Edom. You know, having the covering of Babylon the Great. You know, as far as their ways, their philosophies, serving their gods. You know, having Buddha as your covering, having Allah as your covering, having JC, you know, Santeria, you know, as your covering. That's what it's talking about, being clothed with strange apparel. And specifically the covering of Babylon the Great. Let's go into this word clothed right here. And the word is Strong's H for Hebrew 3847. Labas.
Strong's H 3847. Lavash.
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 And it says to dress.
Second entry. Lavesh. Lavesh.
And it goes into clothe, wear, apparel, clothe, to dress, wear, clothe, put on, be clothed, right? But this is talking about a spiritual, you know, strange apparel, not physical strange apparel. And it says, so it's talking about a covering, a garment, you know, a spiritual one, not a physical one. And it goes into stranger, strange woman, foreign, alien, foreign woman, harlot. Now, let's go into Revelation 17:5. Let's get a better understanding of what this is talking about, you know? Let's see. Yep. So this is Revelation 17:3. I'm going to read down to 5. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sitting upon a scarlet-colored beast, having the names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. This is talking about Babylon the Great, you know? Revelation 17:4, and the woman was arrayed in purple, and purple is symbolic of royalty or rulership, so on and so forth. And Esau, Edom, he's in his rulership. He's in his heaven right now. And that's why the woman was dressed in purple, because Esau, Edom, has got the whole world drunk off of his wine, the wine of his fornication, drunk off Christianity, drunk off, black unconsciousness, which is an invention of Esau, Edom. If you go into the fathers of Egyptology, you'll find out that they're all Edomites, man, who fed you that garbage to tie you back to Ham and call you African, which is a name that he made up. Getting the whole world drunk off of the LGBTQ XYZ nasty people movement, trying to get people and sell people the wine of pedophilia now and normalizing it, man. Trying to give you that charagma. Giving everybody the Kool-Aid that he can in the world right now. You know what Kool-Aid we're talking about? The juicy juice. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Revelation 17:5, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the great mother of harlots and abominations in the earth. So let's read this again. And this is the covering that you don't want to have. This is the garment that you don't want to have. Zephaniah 1:7. This is talking about the end days. This is the end time dark saying. Zephaniah 1:7. Hold thy peace at the presence of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshai power. For the day of the Lord is at hand. That's talking about the end times. For the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshai had prepared a sacrifice. He had bid his guests, those to be destroyed and those to be delivered. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice, when dross is set to be burnt up, when those who are set to be delivered are going to be delivered, that I will punish the princes and the king's children, and all such as are clothed with strange apparel. This is the end time prophecy. So it's talking about the strange apparel in the form of you taking the covering of Esau, Edom, taking the covering of Moab and, worshiping Buddha and whatnot, man. Zephaniah 1:9. In the same day also I will punish all those that leap on the threshold, which fill their masters' houses with violence and deceit. Esau, Edom, who's built his whole empire upon the rape, robbery, and murder of the children of Israel, and doing it to the other heathen nations as well. This nigga didn't colonize Africa, man. He's looking to colonize space now. That's that vagabond, And also doublefold those that don't teach the true correct doctrine, which are filling, you Jakes up with a carnal mentality, the ISUPK spirit pushing, the vibration of packing heat, you're going to outgun Esau with his own blessing. The Grandmaster J's out there, filling you guys up with the spirit of carnality and deceit and violence to get destroyed. And that's actually Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshai using a false prophet to destroy you because you weren't chosen from the foundations of the earth, man. For the deceived and the deceiver are his, man. And if a prophet be deceived, I, the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshai, had deceived that prophet. Ezekiel 14:9. So that's pretty much it. The covering that you want to have is the garment, man, which is this truth, the wisdom, the proper wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures, man. And the fringes are spiritual now, man. You know, you don't need to have fringes on to remind yourself, you know, to walk in the spirit and not, you know, go eat a barbecue pork sandwich, man. You know, it starts with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, though. And those who don't seek after Yahweh Shai, you're going to be destroyed by Yahweh Shai and the angels, man. You know, and once again, the doors of mercy are closing. Do you have the garment? You know? So with that, I'd like to close on out. And in closing, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors unto the head apostles of Great Millstone, who do rule well and teach well with sound doctrine. Shalom. And to the elders and the elder bishops of Great Millstone as well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the hope of the elect, the men, women, and children listening and learning from the servants of prophets, Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, and the hearty Shalom to those servants of prophets, teaching and preaching in truth and sincerity, building up the tabernacle of David in these last days through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, giving diligence to make their calling and election sure. And last but not least, the hearty Shalom to the men of valor in DTA camps, the first camps I ever heard the truth from. Isaiah 62 verses 6 through 7. Ye that make mention of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, keep not silence, and give him no rest day or night. To Jerusalem is a praise in the earth. So once again, Lord's will, Adon Rathasai, Yahweh Rathasai, you were edified by this lesson. And until next time, Lord's will, tomorrow, camp, Shalom, DTA, Wa Abba Baba. So. Shalom.